15th meeting of the Davenport Housing Commission to order. I will do roll call and also welcome our newest member, Joyce Miller, here today. She's here. And Mario Ruiz.
Here.
And Gary Susich.
Here.
So we have a quorum, and I'm here also, Matt Wissing, as the chairperson. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes of the June meeting. Are there any questions or additions to those? If not, I will ask for approval in a second.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the meetings of the minutes of the June 17th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Gotcha. Next, the financial reports for June. Destiny, do you have any?
Most everything is on here for our whole year. June 30th as our fiscal year end, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get some journal entries in, last minute things. But when I was doing the financials, most of the items were already posted. So this is pretty much how we're ending our fiscal year. You can see obviously our utilities were a little high at the Heritage, probably in the winter months with the rough winter that we had. But all in all, we still ended up ahead of the game there at the end. Public housing, again, it's like utility. These are utility reimbursements. So the reimbursements is what we have to pay based off tenants' income. We pay a portion of their utilities. So again, looks like we were over budget a little bit on that. But again, in the end, we're still 50,000 over budget.
Okay.
And Section 8, these are where we are negative, is again where we get reimbursed by HUD or other housing authorities. So no concern whatsoever on our part, because these are all just expense accounts. You don't see the revenue line items, which would show we're getting that much more in revenue to cover these expenses. So no major concerns at all there. So I think then the last page is the overall, which obviously looks negative, but again, it's just due to our Section 8 and not a concern at all.
Okay.
So for the most, looking at these numbers, we've done well for our fiscal year.
Are you expecting any changes in funding for our next year?
No, just that, we've already known that the Heritage obviously is getting more money. Since last year, our subsidy increased. And so when that increased, we never redid our budget to account for that extra revenue. So we may increase, our budget, our expense line items to be able to do some major repairs or projects or something over time. Possibly we have to spend that money that we get for the extra subsidy. So over time, we may see something change with our budget line, but at this time we haven't had any talks, but that will be coming.
Do you have a wish list for things that need to be?
Not necessarily, where they're working on our laundry room, moving the 3 floors down to the main level. That's still in the works right now, but that was a CIP project, so that didn't come out of our funding. The gazebo got put up last month, which was nice, but again, nothing that came out of our.
Did it move to
Yep,
the?
it's on the concrete.
I've
Yep.
driven by a couple times and I try to glance over, but I haven't been.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's a busy
had
area
the time
there.
to stop or.
Yep, they got it. They got it put on the concrete and anchored down. So yeah, residents are enjoying that. And but yeah, we haven't discussed for sure. We've talked about doing some extra security. Right now, we just have fob access to the building, but we would like to make it fob access to like our community room. The laundry room will have fob access only, so only tenants are going in there. But what happens is even though it's secure building, people still sneak in.
Right.
So we'd like to make it so that they can't even get onto the elevators. Like if they get buzzed in the front door from a tenant, they have so many seconds to make it to the elevator and go up. Otherwise, they'd pretty much be locked out of everything and have to leave.
Hurt people who are, obviously, we have a lot of elderly and handicapped.
Well,
who
they
are-
carry their keys with them, their fobs, because
so-
if they ever leave the building,
Right,
they need their
right.
fob to get back in the
Oh,
building.
I mean.
So, I mean, they would still be
Once
in.
they get to the elevator, they can,
Yeah, they would still be in the building, so it's not like they're going to be out in the cold or heat or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that we've discussed possibly doing. So we may go that route. It's just because we get people in the building wandering around that shouldn't be in the building, causing disturbances. And
I know in the winter you've especially had some problems
yeah,
with.
we've had some illegal drug activity and stuff taking place though in our common areas that if we had fob access to, they wouldn't be able to get into those areas. So.
Right.
But yeah, so far we haven't exactly discussed a wish list of items yet, so.
I hadn't thought about this, but I know, I think last year we increased the amount for replacing keys and fobs.
No, we haven't done that.
didn't we? Oh, I thought we did.
No, they're only $2. We need to. We're
Well,
probably
maybe
losing
we
money
ta-
on
maybe
it,
we
but
talked about it. I
yeah.
just wondered if that helped
I know we've
people.
kind of discussed it in the
keep it better.
office. We only
Yeah.
charge $2 for a key, and it costs more than $2 for a
Mm-hmm.
key, but
Okay, maybe that's something we just talked about.
we can only charge what we get, we can only charge the tenant what the fee is to us, so.
What you get, okay.
But yeah, no, we haven't done anything. We haven't increased any fees that I'm aware of. I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. You just got me
I'll
thinking.
make a motion to approve the financial reports for the month of June.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the financial reports for June. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Excuse me. Now on to the occupancy report.
For public housing, we just had a tenant that was terminated for multiple lease violations. So that's the one vacancy that we have right now that's being rehabbed. It's going to be a major rehab because she was there for many years, and unfortunately, there's a lot of damage to the unit. So you'll probably see that on there again next month too.
Okay.
Heritage, we
Did
have.
she,
I'm sorry.
did you say a she? Did she lose her deposit?
Yeah, she was terminated. Oh yeah, she'll lose her
She lost her.
deposit as well. Yeah, she had
Is that like-
thousands of dollars of damage.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, a garage door had been, she didn't turn in her keys, and then they tried going back into the unit after the keys were, we did a relock, or changed the locks on it,
Uh-huh.
and they finagled a way to get in through the garage door and damage the garage door. So then we ended up having to add that to the list of damages as well. So yeah, it's a major rehab. But we were getting a lot of calls and complaints on it from residents in the neighborhood, and there were multiple lease violations, so we were able to terminate. And
Is that a standalone
it's a
house?
single family. Yep.
But, I
sit-
mean, is it connected with some others?
I think we have one other unit right there, one or two other unit, maybe 2 units, but they're all 3 single family homes. I want to say they're 3 bedrooms right there.
Yeah.
It's in the Ridgeview area on West 75th. So that one's going to be vacant for a while. The Heritage, we have 3 vacancies right now. 405 was on here last month. She's still working on getting somebody in there. It's been rehabbed. And that person just moved in with his sister. 905 and 1102. One was a termination, and the one for termination was a clear and present danger, which he used a stun gun on another tenant. So we were able
Jeez.
to terminate. And then 1102 went to a nursing home. So that's the reason for those vacancies. So we'll get those filled as soon as they're rehabbed and ready for occupancy. And then Section 8, again, our numbers we can't keep up with people leaving or going to different areas. We're pulling as much as we can. I think I talked to you guys last month about absorbing some vouchers that we're billing. So right now I think we're billing around 30 vouchers. So what we'll do is absorb probably 10 at a time each month going forward if we can't get our numbers up here because we have to use our money. So I'll absorb 10 vouchers a month until those 30 have been absorbed if we need to, and then we just won't bill anymore. We'll just keep absorbing as they come to us from other jurisdictions. But ideally, we'd like to pull those people from our waiting list and continue to bill. Unfortunately, we're just not able to lease people up fast enough. And we can still pull from our waiting list. It's just we're not able to do it fast enough to use our money. So, you know, even if we pull people from our waiting list right today, it still takes a while to get all the paperwork processed for them to get leased up, do the inspection and everything. So those numbers don't start hitting our budget line until maybe September, by the time everything's said and done. Well, then you have 4 months left of the year to spend the money. So you can see the funds available each month are $308,000, but we're only spending $271,000 right now. So that's a large difference that we need to use. So we're hoping by absorbing, if we have to absorb all 30, that's fine. We have the money to do so, and then we can at least use the money that we have and hopefully keep going forward with pulling from our waiting list.
HUD's still okay, I mean.
Yeah, they were just here a few weeks ago, and we
Right.
had a big discussion about everything, financials, and they walked through some of our public housing units and stuff, and to get an idea of where we're sitting. And yeah, we have to, I believe it's 10% or 90% is what we have to use, I believe, 92% possibly, or we start losing our funding.
Right.
So obviously we have a lot more that we can use than, you know, we can use 100%, but we have to use 92% or they feel that you must not need it, you know, so we don't want that to happen.
Right.
Did, when you mentioned that incident at the Heritage, are the Nets team still doing stuff down there?
They
Sure.
may be behind the scenes, but they weren't involved in this that I'm
Yeah,
aware
I know
of.
you.
Actually,
obviously
they may have come down. I don't remember exactly who all was involved as far
Can't
as the
prevent
officers.
everything, but I know it's helped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The police department's been great. Yeah. I mean, they've responded to our calls real good, and we haven't, knock on wood, haven't had any major issues. This was just an altercation between two tenants in the community room. It was kept pretty quiet. I mean, it was just amongst them, and the community room didn't disrupt, you know, a lot of people or anything. And unfortunately, he
Were
pulled
they
out a stun
arguing
gun.
over a TV show or something.
It was, yeah, the tenant was playing his music on his phone, and the other tenant walked in and
Oh.
felt that he was being
was-
too loud for the
I
other
was just
tenants.
kinda
And
teasing, but,
yeah,
so something kind of minor.
yeah, it was pretty minor that turned into something major, and
Yes. Jeez.
unfortunately, he lost his housing over it.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve the occupancy report for June.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the occupancy report for June. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. On to discussion. Did you have anything?
I don't think I really have anything. On to the new fiscal year. Looking forward to that. Unfortunately, we'll have that major rehab at public housing. That's going to cost a lot of money. But otherwise, you know, we are kind of starting to discuss possibly changing our flooring that we use. Right now, we just use a cheap indoor-outdoor carpet that gets glued down. Doesn't resist stains very well. So we've been starting to discuss possibly using something more durable that'll last longer, or something that we can at least clean and reuse with our rehabs, because
in the
we
public
usually-
housing area?
and the heritage, yeah. Right now, most of the time we have to replace our carpet just about every rehab.
Right.
And if we went to something that could maybe just be like a hardwood floor that we could just replace like one strip, or even if we did like the 12 by 12 squares that we could just replace a square versus a whole entire unit, you know, we might be able to, and it might cost more up front, but in the long run possibly save us some money. So we are starting to kind of look at different things like that. And just wanting to kind of update our units a little bit. Our units, when HUD was here, they made a comment that our units pretty 80s. All the paint is just the off-white color. You know, some of the what are the covers, like the furnace covers and stuff, the little grate things are like a gold, and
Yeah.
they're just getting rusty looking, and just some minor upgrades, going to LED lights and changing the style of the covers that we use, and just to kind of update it a little bit. It was something we've never done in the
Thinking of
past.
LED, is there a way to get any grants from like Mid-America?
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, it's something probably our maintenance department would have to look into. Or I could always reach out, but yeah. I think they do use LED at the Heritage because we replace those light bulbs, but public housing units, the tenants replace those unless they're
that's right.
unable to. But the Heritage, we usually replace the light bulbs ourselves, and those are LED. But we can't do that for public housing. You know, the tenants usually do that for public housing, so we can't mandate that they use LED.
Right.
But when we do like our rehabs, we can put LED lights in and maybe last longer.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, nothing major that I can think of coming up.
Okay.
We have our CMAP certification next month. That'll be on the agenda. That's our annual
What's that?
CMAP. I forget what it stands for exactly. I apologize. But it's an annual certification that goes to HUD for our Section 8 program that states that we're basically following all the rules of the program, and they look at our numbers that we've submitted through PIC monthly, and I'll be able to explain it more to you next month. I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay,
It's due 1st of August, I think, so it'll be on the agenda for next month.
Thinking
Or
of
1st of September, sorry.
acronyms while we're discussing that, and to continue on with the welcome of Joyce, we used to do kind of a, and you said you met last week or
Mhm.
recently, kind of a meeting to bring people up, because I know we use a lot of acronyms and stuff, where we'd meet, let them know some of the terms that's used. And actually, I know at least Yolanda and I don't know if Mario or Gary have been on a tour of any of our public housing or Section 8,
Okay.
just to see them,
Mm-hmm.
just to better acquaint them, and at the Heritage too,
Right. Yeah.
to acquaint them with the things that we're discussing, and
Yeah. We can
looking
possibly set
over.
something up.
And I think that'd be kind of neat. I know we kind of met in a social setting before, but you being a
I think that
mother-
was with the previous manager when
Right,
that
I
happened.
was just gonna say, I don't want to say his name, but he didn't have 3 boys who were busy playing baseball. all
Oh
the
yeah, no, that, and it doesn't matter. I mean,
No, I mean,
we can still set something up. It's just a matter of finding the right timing for when
Right.
we have
Correct.
a unit to go
Correct.
in. You know, because after somebody moves out, we have pest control company come in and
right.
verify that
So
it's
everybody
clear.
doesn't get
So yeah,
swamped.
we don't want people walking in
Yes,
units
I
that
know
haven't been
Yolanda
cleared.
and I went
Right.
to a couple, 3, and some we just drove by, and
Yeah.
but we did enter a couple of empty units like
Yeah,
that.
and I can always give you the list of our public housing unit addresses if you, I
At-
mean, you guys are always welcome to
at the
drive by and just see
Heritage,
where they're at or
and-
what they
Yeah.
look like, and
And I
we
remember.
almost always have a vacant unit at the Heritage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I thought it was, I mean, I had been, because I've had friends in years past that lived at the Heritage.
Right.
So I had been there visiting,
Mhm.
but I just thought it was, insightful
Mhm.
to see things.
Have a little bit better idea what everybody's talking about.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
That's,
thought
yeah, I
that-
can look at setting
thought
something like that
would
up.
be good, so.
Not a problem.
I have a question.
Sure.
I heard a rumor today that the Old Scott Community College down on Ripley and Third, that could be, they're thinking about possibly, it could be a senior low-income housing there.
Oh,
Have you heard anything about that?
I have not.
or
That would be
that-
through our community planning and economic development
Yeah.
department,
Just a
which is
rumor.
over us. on the second floor. They'd probably know more if they've had something come through on that, but I'm not familiar with anything.
No,
Actually, Gary, you mentioned that before, and now that I think of it, I thought you were talking about a new building. You're talking about the Call building.
No. The old Scott Community College down there across from Chamber of Commerce.
Across from Chamber of
on
Commerce is,
a corner of Ripley and Third.
on where the parking lot is now?
No, that's where they had. That's where they had the school. What used to be there.
I don't think they were ever a school there.
Oh, they held. They
Was
have.
there a hotel down that direction?
No. See, it's kind of corner from the Heritage.
Oh, the Heritage?
It's
We're
cut-
on Scott and Third.
I mean, Edgewater. My place, Edgewater. See, it's kind of corner.
Is that Ripley?
Yeah, that's the corner of Ripley there.
Oh.
There was
That's
talk
always
about-
been a parking lot, but the Call building is gonna become apartments. But I don't think, I think it's gonna be market rate apartments.
I know that's just something that it's going to be like.
The call's not right there, though.
No, that's Fourth.
Yeah, we're talking Third.
The Call is at Third and Ripley.
No.
Yes, it is. The Call building. Is it Third and Ripley?
I'm for sure it's. I thought the Cole was down on Fourth.
No, that's the Call. I'm talking about the KAHL, the Call building. That's where the community college was
Okay.
until they built their new place.
Okay. I just remember they might be talking about low-income senior housing.
Yes, I didn't think about it when you asked me.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a new building,
No.
so.
I didn't realize Scott Community College wasn't using that anymore.
Right, they're not, but
No.
I
it's
didn't
gonna
realize
be-
that.
They sold it off and it's gonna become apartments. I'm not sure who's doing the development.
Yeah, community planning and economic development up on
Okay.
second floor would know who's doing it
Yeah.
or what they're doing with it. If it's all been approved and everything, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause that person, they came up and said, "Find anything about it?" I said, no, I can ask, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. I know they talked about some other plans for it, but
Not sure.
Were you just looking at your calendar?
No, I was looking at the map. No,
Oh.
I didn't look at next
I was
month's.
gonna ask about our next meeting.
Okay.
So.
Third Monday would be August 19th.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, hopefully that will work. And I'll mark mine. Anyway, I think that's it. So I'll ask for a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn?
second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome, Joyce.
Kinda interesting.